Hello. This is DriveShare car rental platform by Yunzung and
Marvin Log.
our programming is in Kotlin language. We code in Android Studio and have database of SQLite. This is our project demo.
Hello, my name is Marvin Malaka, and I'm going to be presenting our term project with Yin Zhuang. She will show up on the second part of this presentation. So before I preview the application, I'm going to delete the database, just so that we have a fresh slate to work with, and then I will demonstrate how to add the user and everything. All right, and now once the app starts up, I can take this away. We did our project in Android Studio using Kotlin. We did some SQL as the database, and then some XML for the displays, which can be seen here in the layouts. This is our start screen, and just to prove that there is no username, username Marv, and then password is pass. And it tells me that that is an incorrect entry. So then I'm going to create a new user. I'm going to name them Marv, and then give them the password of pass. Favorite animal, bird, plant, basil. I'm from Iraq. And this will ask us for the balance. This is just a mock, obviously. So let's give us $1,000. And now we are taken back to the main menu where we can actually log in. And so this is the main menu once we're logged in. It tells us our balance. We have the rental history, filter settings, find people, notifications, and my garage. Notifications is currently empty because I'm the first user. And my garage is also empty, so let's create a car. I can create the model, year, give it a mileage, give it an availability of 1 week. Oh. The app just froze on me. Oops. No, it's just because I'm recording and the emulator takes a lot of work. I'll restart the application. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. This emulator is actually emulating like an actual phone, and I'm running this on a laptop, so it just freezes sometimes. Once we go back to the garage, model, bolt, year 2020, mileage of 10,000 miles, availability for 1 week. The location is Michigan, and then the price is $200 per week. So once I click this, it will actually add the car over here. I can also add more cars, so one user can add more cars. So let's do Toyota Camry, and then the year of 2015, mileage is 150,000, something like that. Availability is 2 weeks, and then the location is Ohio. The price is $200. Why not? So now I have 2 cars. I can edit these cars, and as we can see, the mileage is 10,000. Let's say that the mileage increased to like 15,000 instead, and then we want to change the price to 250. You'll see that over here, it updated to 15,000 and the price updated to 250. I can also delete this car if I wanted, so I'll just press delete and now it's gone. And that's about it for now. I can add more users, so let me do that. In password. What's your favorite animal? Hamster. And then plant is cactus. From Vietnam. And let's also give her $1,000.
I'm so poor.
All right, we're at 4 minutes. So now we can log in as Yen pass. Let's say we forgot our password as Yen account. Let's do Yen. Actually, let me demonstrate first that it's actually like going to give me an error. So let's do 1, 2, 3, ABC. So that doesn't work. That's an incorrect entry. So I'll say I forgot my password, and that's my username Yen. Favorite animal? Hamster. What's your favorite plant? Cactus. I don't remember if I uppercased it. What country? Yeah. No. Oh, hamster. I misspelled hamster.
You wrote hamster.
Hamster.
No, you wrote hamster.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it turns out that I originally, when I made the account, I misspelled the word, so I have to misspell it again. All right, so now I'm allowed to make the password. So my new password is 123 ABC, very secure, 123 ABC. And now I'm able to submit, and then it tells me that the password has been changed. So now if I go to Yan, 123 ABC, I'm able to log in, which I previously was not able to. Now, if I go to find people, I'm allowed to see the Marv account. I can see their username and I can see their score. They don't have a score yet, so let me give them a score. They get a score of 5. This is 5 out of 5. And then they're given a rating out of 100%. I can send them a message. Hello, there. Nice car. Because I just saw their listing. And it puts the message. It also gives the current time, which as you can see here is similar to my system time. And then I can do filter listing. Well, there's only one car right now, but let's say if I change the price, let's do a minimum of 500, and I click filter, that listing will actually disappear because it is less than 500, and I set my minimum as the 500. So now if I set my minimum back to 0, and I click filter, it will display. We're at 6 minutes. All right. Oh no, what did I do? Where is it? Oh, I'm still recording. Okay, that's good. So now, if I go to my rental history, you'll notice that it's empty because I have not rented anything as this Yen account. If I go to notifications, there's nothing because there's no notifications for me. However, I do see Marvin's car here, and it's located in Michigan, so I can rent it, and the price is $250. Notice how the balance will be decreased. And now I just rented that. My balance decreased by $250, and now it exists in my location history, and I also have the date and time and the price and all the information. So now if I go to the Marv account, you'll see that my balance actually increased. And this balance is consistent because there's a database that's tracking all of these. If I go to the notifications, I see that I have a notification because Yen sent me a score of 5. I also can view my rental history, and I see that my car has been rented. My car is still in my garage, and I can also find people, and I can also review them. Let's say I give them a 5. So now their score updates. I can also send them a message. I see their message that they sent me earlier, and then I can send them another message. And these messages are ordered by time, as you can see. The time is here, and yep. Do you think I'm missing anything? I think this basically covers most of this.
Yeah.
We used the chain of responsibility to retrieve the forgot password. We used the singleton to create a session. So this current session is being recorded. The notifications is monitored by an observer. We can see that Yen has sent me a message. The observer tracks the database every time it's been changed. The garage, we use the builder design pattern. And then what else did we do? Oh, the mediator controls most of the logic. And the review table works as well. Thank you so much.
For the singleton, for the session, we use a singleton, and it's allowed there to be single session instance with the login user. This way, the user do not enter each other information and ensure that a single person can be on in the system at the time. The mediator allow for user interface, logic, and database element to interact through single mediator point, thus reduce coupling. For the chain of responsibilities, it passes the input question answers to the chain and allows it to handle the request until all answers are checked.
I can explain the builder. The builder basically allows the user to create cars by having different variables. They can pass in different inputs, and that will be set through the builder, and it will create a concrete car for the user to use and store in the database. The payment proxy, basically, it does not allow the user to access the database until certain requirements are met. In our case, those requirements are the user has to have enough money for them to actually be able to buy a car or to rent a car, because it doesn't make sense for us to make a system call to the database and then have it return the data, and then it turns out that the user doesn't have balance. It's just a waste of resources. That's why the proxy pattern is implemented.
So we also apply the observer for the reviewings. So it's for the subscribers,
it checks for like the updates from the database. It checks for updates from the database, and then it sends a single subject is sending it to the subscribers, and then they're being notified how it's receiving the notifications. That also happens with the messaging and communication. Once someone sends someone another user a message, then they're sent a notification explaining how it's done.
and this is our rental history. These are the project works that we have applied. Is basically the functions.
Yeah, I believe that Yen and I basically contributed to this project equally, and we pair programmed throughout the entire process. So now we can show how the code and explain what part each of us did. So our code looks like this. It is broken into multiple parts. We have the UI. The UIs have adapters, but even though that's a design pattern, it's not technically a part of this class. We have our logic, the builder class, the chain of responsibility, the mediator, the observer, the proxy, and then the singleton. And then we have the database. The database consists of the actual database and then the different tables that are used to access it. And then we have the cars for each database table like object, and then we can pass the variables to it. Yen will explain how she did the chain of responsibility, and then I will be explaining how I completed the proxy pattern. All right, good.
All right. So we have the function retrieve the password, which while resetting the password in the mediator, then we get the user informations such as their username and their security questions. Then we will check if the make sure that they have put the user in there. And of course we have to check when we're retrieving, we retrieve by the username. So if it's not put in right, then it will be no, which will set the password flag to be false and will notify that is something was not right in the question resetting. All right. When the user is not null, then we start to check with the question number one, and if it is right, then this will success to question number two. I mean, we start with a question handler, then it will send to the question number one, then check for that database, and then send a success to question number two. By also go through back through question number three, and then if it is all of them going right, then it will set the password flag to be true. Otherwise, it will set the password flag to be not true, not right.
All right, thank you. I will explain how the proxy works. The proxy basically has an interface called payment service, and this will have a function called process payment, and this will have to be inherited by its children. So right here we have the payment proxy. So this payment proxy will inherit from payment services as mentioned before, and it will process the payment. So once a payment is sent to the proxy, it checks the session and it checks the current user. It ensures that the current user has enough balance, and only then can it go to the actual payment concrete server, payment service. And then this concrete service will do most of the logic. So this is the heavier version of the proxy. Obviously, the proxy is like a small body, and then the concrete one does all of the logic. It checks the database, and then it updates the database as needed and returns the appropriate variables. This has been our project. Thank you so much. And as mentioned in the slides, we contributed equally.